matchup. It's going to be LaFeria, the Lions, taking on the Mercedes Tigers. What a fantastic game we've got for you so far. Both teams coming into this one with pretty good records in both competitions. LaFeria coming into this one taking a beating off of their rivals from last week, 63-0. And Mercedes played Nicky Rowe, and the Nicky Rowe Warriors took a pretty good lead early in that matchup, and then ended up falling short of winning that one, but Mercedes taking that victory from Nicky Rowe High School over there. So both teams in great shape so far. Or excuse me, Mercedes ended up losing that game as Nicky Rowe came back and won it. And so 1-1 for Mercedes Tigers. It's going to be an interesting matchup for sure. Both teams have played fantastically throughout the first 2 weeks. So we'll see what happens throughout this game. I'm Jacob Young. This is Real Sports Live. This is going to be exciting. I need to get up a pregame for you guys. And do apologize about this, folks. There we go. Pregame show is up. And we'll get pregame show up on this one as well. And yeah, we're looking at a great game so far. And I'm Jacob Young. This is Real Sports Live. We'll be right back. Don't worry about that. We'll be right back here.
#1.
Men, start the new year off right. Alpha Men's Primary Care wants to remind all men it's time for your annual physical. Call to schedule an appointment. It's about the body, mind, and emotion. Stop feeling sluggish, having no energy, or being stressed. Alpha Men's Healthcare believes in a holistic approach to your overall health. Even if you have low testosterone, diabetes, high blood pressure, or gained weight, let Alpha Men's Primary Care help you increase your energy, stamina, endurance, and quality of life. Start feeling young again.
Back live here, and well, now we're going to talk about Mercedes here to start off this pregame show here at LaFeria High School. Of course, we'll get to LaFeria when we return after our next break, but players to watch out for Mercedes: wide receiver Josiah Cantu. His agility and speed can be key. You talk about leaving this man open. He can beat defenders off the field, going deep for passes, even going for short screen passes, which is what Mercedes kind of like to do. They like to do that especially against Nicky Rowe. So you talk about just making sure that you're able to defend right there is going to always be key. Took off of pregame show here for a second, but that is something that you can't ever go wrong with. Making sure that your player, well, just making sure that you are able to beat that. That means that their O-line are fantastic. Their offensive line can really make plays happen and plays open up from a short end to a long end. So put everything like that together, you're talking about why he can be a lethal weapon to find those open holes, to make sure that he can go in even a short pass and go deep. Another player to watch out for, none other than Braden Adame, the outside linebacker. He's explosive off that line, even though, of course, you know, outside linebackers sometimes go out into the back, not necessarily where a safety would be, but just not necessarily in that front line. And so once that ball is hiked, sometimes if that offensive line on the visiting team or on LaFeria's side is not ready, he can pounce at any time. So that is a huge thing to think about if you are on LaFeria, just due to the fact that, of course, both these teams most likely have been, well, looking at play, making sure that you can figure out who's going to be key, who's not going to. And we do. Of course, we would love to give you a video coverage live, but due to UIL rules, we cannot necessarily do that. And UIL just does not allow us to do that for Friday nights. Tuesday nights, Thursday nights we can, but on Friday nights we just don't seem like we can. So then moving on for Mercedes. Another person, to watch out for is, of course, QB, the quarterback, Michael Cisneros. Once again, he can be a player who, if he doesn't find anyone open, and if he has some space to try and gain some more yards, whether it being 3, whether it being enough for a first down and stepping out, he will exactly do that because he is lethal. He also has speed right there. He can be mobile if allowed. That's what I had written down there. So it's so easy for just the offensive line, as long as they're key. This offense will be amazing. Now, like I said about that defense, that's a big key right there. You have that offense, and you just make sure that you're going to be okay. Therefore, Mercedes. Now, of course, their game plan. What is their game plan key? Simple. They've got to get on the scoreboard early. They've got to get up into the lead. Make sure that, well, they can limit their mistakes. They are a senior team. Their lineup their roster consists of juniors, seniors, and that's always key. Now, the outside linebackers and things like that, it's going to be interesting. But when we return, we will be talking about LaFeria, your home team, here tonight. We'll talk about the weather. We'll talk about the game plan for LaFeria. And, well, we'll talk some more about who will face what. But either way, this is Real Sports Live, brought to you by Hacienda Ford. I'm Jacob Young. We'll be right back after a word from our local sponsors. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, we're Lady Vikings, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live. Thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for the prices? It's a Hacienda party.
It's football season at Hacienda Ford, and you can get a new Ford Expedition with 20-inch wheels, leather, navigation, and more for $12,000 off MSRP.
We got the tailgates down and we're feeling all right. My Hacienda friends are saving money tonight.
Hacienda has it.
Hi, we're Robert Bella's favorite cats, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Hola, les habla su amigo Benjamín Gómez, el alcalde de San Benito, invitando a toda la gente que venga a visitarnos aquí a San Benito. Crucen por el puente Los Indios, más bien conocido como el puente de Lucio Blanco. Visítenos a las atracciones que tenemos aquí en San Benito. Aquí los esperamos. Muchas gracias. Su amigo Benjamín Gómez.
Hi, we're Mackay Bulldogs. Thanks for watching Real Sports Live.
The kids are
headed back to school, it's time to get internet from VTX1. VTX1 Companies offers fast and reliable internet throughout the Rio Grande Valley, even to some of the most remote areas. For a limited time only, get your standard installation at no cost to you. Start the school year off with a service provider you can trust by calling 1-800-446-2031. VTX1 Companies, connecting you since '52.
Hi, we're the Lady Tigers, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live. Hi, we're the United South. Thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles, located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, is filled with vintage items, collectibles, and a selection of vinyl records that's as good as it gets. Every shelf, every aisle, and table is filled daily by a number of vendors that ensures that something here just might be the item you have to have. The vinyl record area helps bring an added atmosphere that makes for a fun trip when stepping back in time with the memories. Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles in San Benito.
Hi, thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Hi, we're the Rio Grande City Rattlers. Thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Come see what the City of San Benito has to offer today. Business owners, visit the San Benito Chamber of Commerce and find out how they can help you be a part of the new and exciting growth the city is experiencing today. Supporting business, community, and the teams, San Benito Chamber of Commerce.
We are the Patriots. Thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles. How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
A Piece of Cake by Ibarra's in Harlingen is a sweet stop for cakes, cookies, and pastries. The best in town for specialty cakes made to order. Sweetbread, cookies, pies, or how about cupcakes? At A Piece of Cake by Ibarra's, try a Texas-style cinnamon roll, or how about some tamales? Wedding cakes, graduations, you dream it and they can make it. The best in town is A Piece of Cake by Ibarra's in Harlingen.
Come see what the City of San Benito has to offer today. Business owners, visit the San Benito Chamber of Commerce and find out how they can help you be a part of the new and exciting growth the city is experiencing today. Supporting business, community, and the teams, San Benito Chamber of Commerce.
Hi, we're Mission Veterans, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live. Woo!
Thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Back live here. Now it's time to talk about LaFeria. LaFeria so far, they've been out to a fantastic start. They had one road game, then finally got to play at their home stadium last week against their rivals, Santa Rosa. Now, that was a big game due to the fact that they finally got to play at home in front of their fans and got to see the fantastic new turf that is on the ground here also tonight. It was on there last week. So that was a huge game for them. They were able to have that win And nonetheless, they won 63-0 versus Santa Rosa. So they're coming into this game pretty high. Now, of course, that was an easier game than they're going to experience tonight. This is against a real team. Now, players to watch out for. I'm just going to say this right off the bat. The whole offensive line were really the key contenders for that victory last week. Now, you talk about them being the victor. They helped that QB have plenty of time. Now that's another person, and that's Dorian Hernandez. Dorian Hernandez last week, he was able to scramble. He was able to find plays. As LaFeria coming out now onto the field, as you can probably hear the fight song next to me. But that is something that you can't underestimate, is a quarterback, that can be mobile and has an arm to throw deep. I remember a couple of plays last week, he was able to get down, or was able to find wide receivers downfield. Now, another thing was Ricky Cantu, and that was the outside linebacker. He was able to block the runners' lanes and able to get, just basically able to either get to the player or only make him gain so many yards where he could have gone downfield. Now, that was a key player right there. He also got a couple of tackles for losses and maybe a sack. So that's another player for LaFeria right there. Now giving opportunities for tackles for loss. Now, this is a nice, so far it's a pretty nice night. And the weather here that I saw was about 86 degrees or so. I believe it was getting down actually to the 70s, but it's going to be a fantastic night. Wind is, it was pretty, it's dying down a bit. It won't make too big of a factor in tonight's game for both teams with the wind. Now, game plan for LaFeria, easy. You got to force the defense into mistakes. You got to force those competitors into mistakes from defense and offense. And then, of course, they've got to make the big plays early, especially to be up, because we all know it might go back and forth here. As we're just moments away from, of course, kickoff. We'll take one last break for you, and we'll go split screen for a second.
Hi, we're the Lady Diamondbacks, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Okay. Now, of course, it's game time here. We're about to go kick off. Looks like LaFeria decided to kick off to Mercedes here, and the Mercedes Tigers will get the ball first. There we go. We got the whistle. And it's off. Kickoff it's going to roll, and a kick out of bounds there. So Mercedes will get the ball at some nice yardage for sure. And that's what. Ball will be placed at the 30-yard line. 1st and 10 Mercedes. Josiah Cantu comes out. Excuse me. Horacio Pequeño comes out for QB. Once again, should be great. Let's see here. He's got one back behind him with one wide receiver on each of his sides. One back actually beside him. He hikes the ball off. Runs to the left, runs to LaFeria's bench, gains a couple of yards there for the running back. Josiah Cantu on that carry. So right off the bat, Josiah Cantu getting a couple of yards there. Yes, Michael C. Nettles as quarterback. Once again, lines up behind center. We got three wide receivers on the other side. He's a man in motion. Handoff once again. Finding the middle of the hole, gets stuffed, maybe got a yard on that carry. Gains 0 yards, was able to get back to the line of scrimmage. We're talking about a 3rd down now. Third down and about 7. Has one back right beside him once again. Third down, he sends a man in motion. 2 wide receivers now on the right. He breaks the tackle. He finds an opening, has a man deep, gets a catch. Mercedes, he evades another tackler, and he's going to be brought down at about the 55, or the 45-yard line, excuse me, there. And, well, a big gain on third down. A third down conversion. They will move the chains. Mercedes getting it, but it looks like it was a holding call. So, an eligible receiver downfield. That's going to bring them back, and it's going to be replaying that down. But now they're going to be behind. Mercedes is going to be behind the line of scrimmage, or the original line of scrimmage. Third down and 10, just like that. So all the stuff that they gained there, it's brought back to nothing here. 3rd and 10. Cease Nettles back, has a man right beside him. 3 wide receivers near LaFeria's bench. It looks like it might be an offside. He gets the ball going, and it's an open field. He's got a block. 40, 30, the 20, the 10, goal line. Mercedes score. A flag on the play though, but it might be on the defense there, and Mercedes might have just taken the lead 6-0. We'll wait on the call. Offsides defense is a call. The penalty will be declined. And so Mercedes will go up 6-0 on a crazy third down. A 70-yard pass completion for Mercedes brings them up 6-0 right off the board. Just like I said, a big thing that they had to do on the beginning, and they get up early. High snap, enough for the kick, and it's going to be good. Mercedes get on the board first, 7-0. What a start from them. When we return, well, Fethiye will get the ball back and have their first opportunity to score some points, put some points up on the board. We'll be right back. This is Real Sports Live. Hopefully you're enjoying it. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
We are this close upon wanting to making history. This close to changing the world.
We are this close.
This close to making sure no child suffers a crippling disease ever again.
This close.
We are this close to ending polio.
Ending polio.
All we need is you.
This close. If we don't act now, we may lose this chance forever. Help Rotary make history at endpolionow.org.
Back live here, Mercedes break out of their huddle to kick the ball off to LaFeria right there. The Lions will get the ball back, or the Lions will get the ball first. And it's a short kick. Perez gets the ball on the 20, 30. He gets out about the 32-yard line, fumbles the ball already out of bounds though. 33-yard line for LaFeria to start things off with their quarterback. It's going to be a very interesting one, as once again we got the Lions 1st and 10 shotgun, hands the ball off, and he's going to get stopped behind the line of scrimmage there from Mercedes. So he will lose a couple of yards there. Sets up back behind the pocket. He's got a back right beside him, 2 wide receivers near LaFeria bench. But he decides to go a short pass, gaining about 5, maybe 6 yards on the carry.
Gain of about 5 yards on the play.
3rd down and about 5 to go. hikes the ball off once again. He decides to scramble. He takes it himself, finds an opening, and he breaks one tackle. He broke another tackle. It's going to be close for the first down. He's going to be about short, though, 2 yards short, 4th and 2. It's up to LaFeria to see what they want to do now. It looks like they're going to stay on the field and go for it on 4th down. He gets closer, man behind center. Actually, they decide to punt the ball away. And it is way back, a very nice punt, and it takes a bounce. They're going to down it at about the 15. The 13-yard line, Mercedes takes over. Mercedes take over, and they will try out their second drive. The offense trotting back onto the field now for Mercedes. Michael C. Sneddles back out, or excuse me. C. Sneddles as quarterback decides to hand the ball off. They get stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
Might get back to the line of scrimmage. Outside. Defense, number 23.
Another penalty will move the Mercedes Tigers up forward. 8:32 left to play here in the first quarter. 7-0 your score, Mercedes with the ball once again. This is Mercedes' second drive of the play, and the play clock starting down to 20 seconds. 3 wide receivers near LaFeria bench on the right side. Behind center, hikes the ball off. C. Sneddles evades one blitz there, trying, and he'll just throw it away. Actually gets caught right before out of bounds, right before they step out of bounds there. It looks like that was Alex Rincon. An eligible receiver downfield will move Mercedes back, as there was a penalty marker on the field. So a 5-yard penalty will move them back just as they gained and back to the original line of scrimmage. 1st and 10, though. They will replay that down. Play clock starts. 3 wide receivers on LaFeria's side of the bench. C. Sneddles hikes the ball off with one back beside him. He will hand it off once again. A flag was thrown, but he gets away in a couple of yards there. But we'll see what the penalty marker is. Didn't look like I saw necessarily a hold. Offside on LaFeria. It'll be another 5-yard penalty, and that will move Mercedes closer to the first down marker. Ref blows a whistle to remove a play. 1st and 5 now for Mercedes. Play clock continuing to run. 3 wide receivers near LaFeria bench. And C. Sneddles will hike the ball off once again with a back right beside him. 1 wide receiver on Mercedes' side. He passes to him. He gets the space, evades one, and will step out of bounds, not before getting the first down. So first down, Mercedes moving the chains early in this one. Mercedes staying on the field for a good margin so far, especially since they got the ball back. 8:05 now remaining in this first quarter. 1st and 10. Mercedes. He hikes the ball off, sent a man in motion, takes it, and will get a couple of yards there, gets the first. Or, excuse me, gets past the line of scrimmage halfway. get a gain of about 5. That's what it looks. They break out of the huddle now. 2nd and 6, so he gained actually 4. Will hike the ball off. Send one in motion, takes it himself once again, gets up the middle, a big hit. Will stop his momentum, but not before he gains a couple of yards. So 3rd down, it's going to be a 3rd down play for Mercedes, trying to get another 1st down. The Tigers looking to, of course, go up on LaFeria, but they are up 7-0 with 7:30 left to play here in the 1st quarter. 3 wide receivers near LaFeria bench. He hikes the ball off with the back right beside him, and he gets knocked down. 4th down, and just like that, they get off the field. That was none other than the player who made Andrew Rodriguez for LaFeria. The Lions will go back onto. We'll get the ball back. It's going to be a punting situation for Mercedes Tigers. Hikes the ball off. A solid punt. They're going to try and return it. He gets the ball at a good place, tries to evade another tackle, but gets stuffed right before he could really go anywhere. Gains a couple of yards, though, but they will get the ball at around the 29 or so yard line. Let's see where they mark the ball down. "34-yard line, excuse me. They're going up the marker there. 34-yard line will be where they mark the ball down for LaFeria. LaFeria coming back out onto the field. Now he hikes the ball with one back behind him and fakes a handoff, gets an opening, and gets some yardage before the back line, the secondary, could get him down. That was Hernandez to, I believe, Sanchez was the play there. Very nice movement. He hikes the ball off once again, sent a man in motion, but decided to take it himself and finds some space, and I believe he got a 1st down on that one. They will move the chains, and so LaFeria, with 6:10 to go, will have a 1st down. Still in their territory right now. Hikes the ball off, takes it himself, and will get stuffed right at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard there, though. The Lions' 43-yard line's where the ball is spotted, and let's see how he does it. One back behind him, hikes the ball off, fake handoff, a screen pass to the left side. He tries to find an opening, gets a bit of it, and tough to be wrestled down there. Wrestled down out of bounds. Looks like it will be a gain of about 8 on the carry there. After that screen pass, will mark them down close to about the 50-yard line. 3rd and 2, fake handoff. Actually hands the ball off and gets the 1st down. That was none other than Avishai Dickerson for the carry there. Lions are now in the Tigers' territory. It's going to be interesting. Decides to go back, hikes the ball off, sends a man in motion, and it's going to be a false start, it looks like, as the flag was thrown. False start on the offense, and so they will be moved back, and so we'll have a tougher 1st down. Looks like it will probably be 1st and 15. Ref blows a whistle to resume play. 4:40 left in this 1st quarter, and looks at his ref, or looks at the coach, and now one back beside him, hikes the ball off, fakes the handoff, does another screen pass, this time to the right side, trying to find an opening, They get evade one, stumbles, and gets a decent gain. Looks like they'll be down at the Lions' 40-yard line. Right at the Lions' 40-yard line. Or excuse me, right at the Tigers' 40-yard line. And well, it's going to be second down. Dorian Hernandez hikes the ball off. He finds a man downfield. They get the first down and a bit more. After that fantastic pass right there. And the ball looks like it's spotted at about the 25-yard line. Hikes the ball off with a couple of men beside him. Running back not going to be enough. He's going to lose a couple of yards after trying to fool the defense. But the Mercedes defense this time was ready for that, so they'll get about a loss of about 5 or so on the play. Actually a loss of about 3. Hikes the ball off with one ball beside him, scrambles out wide, finds a man downfield, wide open, touchdown, LaFeria. Just like that, LaFeria are now on the board. How about that, finding a man downfield after, of course, just scrambling. A perfect block by that offensive line. Made that space wide open and, well, just able to beat his defender on that outside, finding the open space, and will set them up now to tie the game. Kick is up, and it is good. We got ourselves a tie ball game, 7-7 now, just like that. Fantastic play on both sides. Of course, it all started with a stop on third down from this Lions defense that made them able to do that. Well, Real Sports Live will be right back for, of course, when the Lions get the ball back off to the Tigers. This is Mercedes versus LaFeria. We'll update you with some scores, especially throughout the game. And, well, hopefully you all are enjoying this.
Sports Live.
Hi, I'm Coach Nava with Westaco East High School. Thank you for watching Rio Sports Live.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
And the ball is kicked back off. It's going to be another kick out of bounds. This time not a great kick. Excuse me, it was just a kick that they were trying for. It seemed like what they were trying to do was trying for a bit of a squib kick and wasn't able to go necessarily too well. So it looks like Mercedes will get the ball. Mercedes will get the ball in fantastic field position. The 35-yard line is where they will be at. Now the Tigers, 1st and 10. He's got a man right beside him, 3 backs once again, 3 wide receivers, near LaFeria's bench. He hands the ball off, on the outside it goes. He finds an opening, gets a first down. Not before he gets pushed out of bounds. A very nice play so far. Finds the 1st and 10 marker there. LaFeria doing an excellent job of trying to limit their mistakes. Same deal with Mercedes. The Tigers doing a nice job. He gets a fumble, and it's going to go. It's going to go back to LaFeria. What am I saying? Just a very big play. Sacks them. That was none other than okay. Well, either way, Mercedes sets back up. He sends a man in motion. Back to the wide receivers. Gets blitz. Receives it up. And it is. It's going to be pass interference off of that. A big play there. Crowd not too happy about that, but just right before that play, it was just a big loss. And of course, trying to gain some positioning. We'll see what this call is from the ref, though. First down now for Mercedes after having a big play go against them a second ago. Sets up behind center, shotgun style, and now no backs behind it, sends a man in motion, does a tip, and what a play by the defense there, making him miss. Well, just tripping him up in the backfield there. A very key play, stopping him short and making him lose a bit of yardage. Now, of course, Mercedes having to try and gain that yardage back once again. Second down for the Tigers. Hikes it off, fumble on the snap. It looks like it's going to go to LaFeria. LaFeria, the Lions gain possession right back. Once again, that defense on their toes. We're ready for that. And just like it, Mercedes will see their defense move right back onto the field. After, of course, having just an up and down session right there. An up and down drive for Mercedes and LaFeria. Finds LaFeria up there. He's got one back in front of him. He keeps it himself, and he's stopped behind the line. Mercedes. .1:30 left to go in this first quarter of play. Hikes the ball off with one man in front of him. He fumbles the snap. This time takes it himself, finds an opening in the middle, and gains some yardage after what looked to be a dead play. Making something out of nothing was what he did exactly right there. 7-7 your score, but the Lions are in Tiger territory. Hikes the ball off with one in the backfield. Finds an open space, gets that first down. Ball looks like it's going to probably be down close to the 15-yard line. They are moving into the red zone territory for LaFeria. LaFeria hikes the ball off with one back beside him. He handed the ball off there and gains some more space, breaks a tackle, trying to break another. He's going to be brought down close to the 1-yard line. Just like that, they're in red zone territory. The 3-yard line, first and goal for LaFeria. The Lions looking to try and take the lead before the first quarter is over. They have about 30 seconds to do it. Hikes the ball up, fumbles the snap, and is going to lose yardage there on that play. It might be the last play of the first quarter here. We'll see what LaFeria decide to do, if they decide to do a hurry-up offense or something. Got one back behind him. Hikes the ball up. Another handoff. He breaks a tackle, goes to the opposite side, and is going to be taken down, and that's going to be the last play of the first quarter. We end quarter number one tied 7-7, just like that. Been an up and down roller coaster for both teams so far, but the advantage at the moment goes to LaFeria as they switch sides of the field. We'll take a bit of a break. 7-7 your score. Don't go anywhere. Football will return for Rio Sports Live right after a word from our sponsors.
It's a Hacienda party.
It's football season at Hacienda Ford, and you can get a 2019 Ford EcoSport with navigation and an 8-inch touchscreen for just $17,495.
We got the tailgates down and we're feeling all right. My Hacienda friends are saving money tonight.
Hacienda has it.
Hi, we're PJ Lady Bears, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Back live, 3rd down and goal to go for the Lions here. It's going to be an interesting one. He once again decides to set up one with the backfield. Mercedes, we're ready for that one. He's got a pass, trying to find an opening. Not going to be enough this time, though. And it looks like they'll be down to close to the 10-yard line, probably the 11 there for LaFeria. Fourth down now, and it looks like they will decide to go for it. LaFeria keeps their offense out there, hands the ball off, fakes it actually, finds an opening, and it is complete. They're gonna call that a touchdown just like that, and LaFeria take the lead. 13-7, your score at the moment. LaFeria after that play, just what a catch. It looked like the defender from Mercedes was right there, and it looked like there was plenty of room to make it almost a block kick, and the extra point is good. And 14-7 now, your score. LaFeria take the lead. Back and forth so far. LaFeria on the 4th down and goal play after they had gotten moved back after a fumble and after just not necessarily being able to get a run going for them on a screen pass. They now take that lead 14-7. How about that? How about this game so far? Atmosphere has been amazing from both sides. Team energy on both. They have not gotten down from fight, and momentum has been fairly even. LaFeria is setting up to kick this one back to Mercedes. There he goes, stepping back. Ref blows a whistle. Raises up his hand, and we're back underway. He tries a squib kick, and it's going to be another kick out of bounds. The flag is thrown, and the ball landed on the 40, so it's probably going to be around the 45-yard line that Mercedes will get possession of the ball back. Now, what LaFeria have been trying to do on these kickoffs and why there's been so many kicks out of bounds is they've been trying to either kick it short or technically kick an onside. Kick the ball onside. So it's a very interesting strategy to say so the least, but either way we move on, and Mercedes have it back. One man in the backfield, likes the ball off a pitch and tries to hit him behind, does not wrap up, and they finally wrap up, and it looks like it's going to be a loss for about 6. Just like that, that kick out of bounds, just going back to the 40-yard line now. So LaFeria's defense is doing a very nice job, especially when they've tried those, because LaFeria know that they have a chance on that. Basically with their defense has been outstanding so far. Either way, Mercedes, one man right beside him. He sends a man in motion to the wide receiver slot near their sideline. Hikes the ball off shotgun on his own. Defender came, but wide open goes. Tries to jump over a man, but doesn't get it, but just enough for the first down, and they will move the chains. Ball looks like it will be marked close to the 45-yard line for Mercedes. Mercedes going into the Lions' territories. The Tigers doing a very nice job so far on this drive. Cisneros has it back, kind of behind his sends a man in motion. Hands the ball off there. They will pick up at least maybe a yard. If not, they got back to the line of scrimmage in time. 2nd and 10. He does get back to the line of scrimmage. And of course, they are Mercedes making sure that they know that play. Play clock still running now. 19-18, 10:08 left to play in this first half. Hikes the ball off with one behind him, hands the ball off, and he breaks the tackle, trying for another block. He gets him down, wrapped up. But just like that, 35-yard line. Now it sets them up for a nice 3rd down for Mercedes. Now in this situation, if you don't necessarily get the first down, if you're Mercedes, you're probably thinking, well, it's a bit too far for us to kick a field goal here. A bit too far for us also or a bit too close for us to punt. So what we'll probably do is go for it. If they do not make it, hikes the ball off with one beside him, decides to take it himself, and he's going to be stopped short. And it might have been a fumble. They're going to actually mark him down. They're going to mark him down, and so now, of course, a 4th down situation here with 9 minutes left. And looks like the Mercedes Tigers are going to go for it here. Actually, I think they're just going to end up calling a timeout here as it goes down to 10. 9, the play clock goes out down to 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. They're actually going back to try. 2, 1. It looks like he's going to call timeout. Yes, he does call timeout. And, well, LaFeria were just trying to get them to jump offside, I believe. Excuse me, Mercedes were trying to get them to jump offside. And they will talk it over on the sidelines. They call timeout. It is 14-7 LaFeria. What will Mercedes do? We'll find out right after the break here. This is Rio Sports Live. Hopefully you're enjoying this game so far. Coverage will continue right after a word from our local sponsors. Don't go anywhere.
Offer today. Business owners, visit the San Benito Chamber of Commerce and find out how they can help you be a part of the new and exciting growth the city is experiencing today. Supporting business, community, and the teams, San Benito Chamber of Commerce.
Hi, we're the Lady Wildcats, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
The kids are headed back to school. It's time.
4th down for the Tigers. They keep their offense out on the field. One man in the backfield. He decides to hand the ball off, and he gets stopped right behind the line. And LaFeria take over on downs. What a play there. The defense held Mercedes. Just what a play. Looks like that was Ricky Cantu on that tackle for a loss there. So the Lions will take over at about their own 35, 36-yard line. 37, hands the ball off, actually face it, decides to take it himself. He leads with his head there, and he's gonna push himself forward and just about get the first down. Actually, you're saying he did get the first down there. Did not see the chains move for a second. So that's why I kind of hesitated on that. Either way, they kind of call hurry up offense. Side by side, he hands the ball off once again. Up the middle they go. Gains a couple of yards there on that carry. 8:12 to go here in this first half. 2nd down and 5 for the Lions. 14-7 your score. LaFeria still lead. He's got one back beside him. Hands the ball off once again, and this time Mercedes were ready for him. Stops him in the backfield. Right before he really could get back to the line of scrimmage, he might have lost about a yard or so on that carry. Talking to his players there. He's got 2 backs right beside him. Hikes the ball off. Fakes the handoff. Goes for a screen pass. Trying to find an opening there. Not going to be able to. Going to get stopped behind the line of scrimmage once again. And now fourth down, excuse me. And they are going to decide to stay out. The Lions are. Take that back. Keep on forgetting that their quarterback is their kicker. So it rolls about on the 18 or so yard line there for Mercedes. 19-yard line. And LaFeria up 14-7 once again. 6:53 left to play in the first half. Just so far, great action from both teams. So just figuring out things. Really still feeling each other out. Of course, we expected this type of game, more defense. As one thing that I got to say, what a gorgeous night it has been so far. Really nice temperature, and of course we got a full moon out on Friday the 13th. Sounds about right. Mercedes decide to hike the ball off. One beside him. A bit of a mixed up play. They're going to lose yardage there. Tackle for loss, actually a sack. And going to lose about a yard, so second down and 11. Full moon out tonight. So far, great game. Second and 10. He's not going to lose a yard there. He's all alone in the backfield. Going to hike the ball up on a shotgun. Trying to reverse field, loses yardage once again. LaFeria doing a fantastic job on defense. Really making Mercedes have to really change up their game plan. The Mercedes offense looking confused kind of at the moment. 3rd and 14 for the Tigers. Has a man right beside him, sends him in motion to the wide receivers on Mercedes benches aside, tries for a far pass, and it's going to be picked off. Beats the defender, but not enough on that one. And, well, it's going to be LaFeria ball. No penalty markers on the field. Had a bit of an interesting play there, but LaFeria, the Lions will take over once again. Another turnover. LaFeria really being lethal on defense so far. It's going to be an interesting halftime talk for both of these teams. 5:40 left in this first half. Hikes the ball off. Set him in motion for a second there. Trying for the deep pass. Almost picked off once again on the other side. And that will be second down and 10 for LaFeria. The Lions hikes the ball off one man. One running back beside him. He decides to send a man in motion, hikes the ball off, and he's got to run. Almost about the first down marker. A very nice run. Gain of 9 on the carry there. And 3rd and 1. Hikes the ball off pretty fast, and he's got a big opening. What a play there. Breaking tackles left and right. First down. 1st and 10. Lions from Mercedes. Tigers 29-yard line. Hikes the ball off everyone. Plenty of time. Deep pass. And it's going to be picked off by Mercedes. A long field ahead of him. He does not get tripped up. He's got one man to beat. And a fantastic play right there. Looks like they'll get the ball on the 40-yard. on their own 40-yard line after that return. Just like that, it flips once again. That script flips. Mercedes threw a pick the last play, and then, of course, get the ball right back on that interception. So, just both teams really even so far. 5 minutes to go here in this first half. LaFeria leads it. Mercedes have 2 timeouts remaining. There was a penalty marker. And they're gonna tag on 15 extra yards for Mercedes here after that penalty. Now Mercedes, once again, will hike the ball off with 1 running back in the backfield and 3 wide receivers close to LaFeria's bench. He finds an opening, tries to bulldoze his way through, and will get a first down just like that. Mercedes are running into LaFeria's territory. The Tigers getting into the Lions' territory, hikes the ball off once again, hands it off to finding the opening, and there is a penalty marker down. We'll see what it was, and it will be holding on the offense. Ten-yard penalty from that spot will bring them down far from the line of scrimmage now. 1st and 20. Ball will be spotted on the Lions' 35-yard line, or excuse me, 45-yard line. 14-7 your score still, and 4:30 left to play here in the first half. Hands the ball off, and he's met at the backfield. Doesn't even get a chance to get back to the line of scrimmage there. They're going to lose yardage. The Lions defense once again on a rampage sometimes, you could say. Mercedes trying to get the call from the bench, trying to see what they'll do. He lines up with 1 back behind him. 2nd down and 20, 2nd down and long, as they got 3 backs near their bench. Now right beside him, he decides, he scrambles to the bench. Not gonna be able to get out of the pocket. It could be another holding call, as I did see a flag, a penalty marker, fly right near the backfield. We'll wait and see what the call is. Official call. Hands to the face on the defense is going to be the call, so Mercedes is going to tag on some yards and try to get back to the line of scrimmage. 1st down is what they're going to say. It's going to be enough to get them back 1st down here. So 1st and 10 from that hands to the face call. Mercedes is just like that, back in Lions territory. They're trying, of course, to tie this game up before halftime. 3:30 left to play here in the first half. Hikes the ball off with 1 back behind him. Decides to fake the handoff. And it looks like that pass is going to be complete. And it's going to be, well, 2nd down, but a lot closer now. 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5 they go. Trying to be met up in the backfield, not going to be enough there. Going to get that first down. Mercedes get that first down. 1st and 10 once again. Gonna hike the ball off with the back right beside him. Hands it off. Trying to find an opening. Does. Gets the first down and a lot more. Gonna be met. Not before he got that first down, and they're gonna be 1st and goal is what it looks like. Gain of 15 yards, and now of course they're going to try and tag it in. 2nd and 2:39, left. Play. He's got one in the back. Gonna hand it off again. And is going to slip and fall. Met up in the backfield. Going to lose a couple of yards now. And looks like timeout called. Timeout called LaFeria. Their first timeout. So now 2 timeouts, 2:26 left to play. LaFeria thinking that they could probably get this ball back right before halftime, which would be pretty much key to try and go down the field and maybe kick a field goal right as time expires in the first half. Either way, both teams taking a break. We'll do the same here. This is brought to you by Real Sports Live and Hacienda Ford. Hopefully you all are enjoying this so far. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Don't go anywhere.
VTX1 Companies offers fast and reliable internet throughout the Rio Grande Valley, even to some of the most remote areas. For a limited time only, get your standard installation at no cost to you. Start the school year off with a service provider you can trust by calling 1-800-446-2031. VTX1 Companies, connecting you since '52.
Back live here, hikes the ball off once again, and it looks like it might be a holding call on Mercedes there, but nonetheless met up in the backfield. They're going to lose yardage once again. We'll see what this call is from the official. Offsides on the defense is the call. It's going to be still going to be 2nd down, though. Second down and goal. It goes from ball. Looks like it's spotted at the 5. He has one back beside him. 2 wide receivers on their right side. Decides to take it himself. He scrambles, beats one, actually gets tripped up. A huge play for LaFeria right there, bringing up a 3rd down and making the Tigers lose a couple of yards once again. The ball looks like it's going to be spotted at the 10, so that's about a 5-yard loss now. Mercedes just waiting to see what play they'll run now. As they're waiting, but the play clock goes down to about 10 seconds, and the game clock is about 1:30. 6-5 to go, 4-3, and they're going to talk this thing over out on the sidelines as Coach of Mercedes calls a timeout so that they can regroup and see what they decide to, what they decide to call on the field here to see, will they go for a screen pass? Will they go for a handoff? Will they go for maybe a play action pass or something of that sort? Of course, they've normally decided to go with 3 wide receivers on the right, sometimes mixing it up and putting them on the left. One back right beside them, sometimes behind. So that's what Mercedes and the Tigers have tried to do so far throughout this game. It is 14-7, LaFeria lead, but of course with Mercedes driving closer to halftime here. 1:20 left to go. Ref blows a whistle. Yeah, once again, just, we can't broadcast the game because it is Friday night, but we will have this game out an hour after. Both teams back on the field. Looks like, though, LaFeria might call timeout now. Timeout LaFeria, it goes. And now both teams have 1 timeouts remaining with 1:20 left to play once again in this first half. Exciting stuff going on so far. It's been very exciting, just back and forth. Right now, of course, LaFeria seems like they have had the advantage so far, but not necessarily on this drive. Mercedes have gotten a bit more lucky. They have had some calls to bail them out on some downs, and so, well, that's a game of football for sure. But third down now for Mercedes. They're trying, of course, to get that full 7. But if it does turn into 4th down and they don't lose a lot of yards here, if it's like an incomplete pass or something like that, I would suggest that they would probably go for 3 points. But both teams back out on the field, and they are ready. He's all alone in the backfield. Hikes the ball off in shotgun mode, trying to find someone open. He evades one, scrambles again, and he evades another. This time he's just going to go for it, gets tripped up. And it's going to be 4th down now. I think it was behind the original or their line of scrimmage, and it's going to tick down to a minute left. Looks like what Mercedes might try to do is they might try to use up the play clock here to around 2 or 1 seconds, call timeout, and that will probably put the time closer to 20, maybe 15 seconds. So that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to try for 3 points here and try to at least be down 14-10, maybe closer to halftime. There we go. Timeout called. 27 seconds remain in this second quarter. This first half so far been excellent. Well, of course, talk it over, make sure that they can, well, not necessarily make this kick, but just have enough blockers out there, because we all know the key of the game. You try to block that kick, you can probably, even if you do get lucky, because I've seen it happen multiple times in college football and even high school football, where you can block this kick and it bounces almost right to you. You scoop it up and go the other way and finish off the first half with that. LaFeria will probably be thinking that they could block a field goal try so far. LaFeria back out on to the field now. Mercedes back out on the field now too, as well, with their special teams out on there. They do set up to kick the ball. It is going to be about 20 yards, 20-yard kick. The hike was nice. It is solid. The kick is up and good. Just like that, Mercedes. LaFeria 14, Mercedes 10 now, 22 seconds left in this first half. How about that? The defense for LaFeria hold Mercedes to a field goal. A very good win for LaFeria and the Lions on that, just on that play. Could have ended up very differently. Mercedes quarterback tries to scramble and, well, didn't necessarily get too lucky on that play. Michael Michael C. Sneddles was the one that tried to scramble and try to find an open player, but wasn't necessarily able to. But either way, they get the field goal, 14-10. Once again, 22 seconds left, and the ref blows that whistle for play to resume. Of course, they line up for the kick off. The question is, what will they try to do? Will they try to pin it as high as they can? We'll see. It's a nice kick off to the right corner. It does bounce, and it's going to be a kick out of bounds. The ball landed at about the 15-yard line, so LaFeria will probably get the ball on the 20 with still 22 seconds because no one did touch the ball at the – well, no one did touch the ball, which means it was a dead ball. And so 2 flags on the play. Waiting for the officials to give out. Was kick out. Well, it was kick out of bounds. There was 1 flag on the play there. And, well, now LaFeria get the ball at the 20-yard line. He's got 1 back beside him. Scrambles to his bench. Tries to pass. Throws it deep. And it's too high. Nicely defended there. And, well, 15 to go, 2nd and 10. Offensive line did their job there, just a bit too much on that play. Hikes the ball off with the back beside him, evades the blitz, finds one to the corner. He's got an opening, tries to go to the midfield, and the clock will stop momentarily for the first down as LaFeria, or excuse me, and that will be the final play of the first half. LaFeria lead this one 14-10. How about that so far? What a spectacular game. Just both teams doing a nice job. Well, when we return, we'll talk some halftime stats and we'll give my prediction to the second half and all that fun stuff. And also, of course, we'll get you caught up with the rest of the games around the valley here. Once again, Rio Sports Live. Hopefully you're enjoying this one. And, well, we couldn't be enjoying it much more than you. We do apologize that we cannot, of course, show the game live, but it is out of our control due to UIL rules on Friday nights. But once again, I'm Jake Young. This is Rio Sports Live. Hopefully you're enjoying this. This is powered by Hacienda Ford. We'll be right back.
A Piece of Cake by Ibadas in Harlingen is a sweet stop for cakes, cookies, and pastries. The best in town for specialty cakes made to order. Sweetbread, cookies, pies, or how about cupcakes? At A Piece of Cake by Ibadas, try a Texas-style cinnamon roll, or how about some tamales? Wedding cakes, graduations, you dream it and they can make it. The best in town is A Piece of Cake by Ibadas in Harlingen.
Hola, les habla su amigo Benjamín Gómez, el alcalde de San Benito, invitando a toda la gente que venga a visitarnos aquí a San Benito. Crucen por el puente Los Indios, más bien conocido como el puente de Lucio Blanco. Visítenos a las atracciones que tenemos aquí en San Benito. Aquí los esperamos. Muchas gracias. Su amigo Benjamín Gómez.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for low prices? It's a Hacienda party.
It's football season at Hacienda Ford, and you can get a new Ford Expedition with 20-inch wheels, leather, navigation, and more for $12,000 off MSRP.
We got the tailgates down and we're feeling all right. My Hacienda friends are saving money tonight.
Hacienda has it.
Thank you for watching Rio Sports Live.
A Piece of Cake by Ibadas in Harlingen is a sweet stop for cakes, cookies, and pastries. The best in town for specialty cakes made to order. Sweetbread, cookies, pies, or how about cupcakes? At A Piece of Cake by Ibadas, try a Texas-style cinnamon roll, or how about some tamales? Wedding cakes, graduations, you dream it and they can make it. The best in town is A Piece of Cake by Ibadas in Harlingen.
Men, start the new year off right. Alpha Men's Primary Care wants to remind all men it's time for your annual physical. Call to schedule an appointment. It's about the body, mind, and emotion. Stop feeling sluggish, having no energy, or being stressed. Alpha Men's Healthcare believes in a holistic approach to your overall health. Even if you have low testosterone, diabetes, high blood pressure, or gained weight, let Alpha Men's Primary Care help you increase your energy, stamina, endurance, and quality of life. Start feeling young again. Alpha Men's Primary Care is changing the way men's healthcare is done.
Come see what the City of San Benito has to offer today. Business owners, visit the San Benito Chamber of Commerce and find out how they can help you be a part of the new and exciting growth the city is experiencing today. Supporting business, community, and the teams, San Benito Chamber of Commerce.
Hi, we're the Edinburgh Bobcats. Thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Every great dining adventure begins with one word, fresh. At the Sea Ranch, we combine a fresh, inviting atmosphere with chef-inspired cuisine prepared from the freshest local shrimp, oysters, snapper, and mahi-mahi. Our salmon, Alaskan king crab, and live Maine lobsters are flown in fresh. A local favorite for over 30 years, the Sea Ranch. Come enjoy a fresh experience.
The kids are headed back to school. It's time to get internet from VTX1. VTX1 Companies offers fast and reliable internet throughout the Rio Grande Valley, even to some of the most remote areas. For a limited time only, get your standard installation at no cost to you. Start the school year off with a service provider you can trust by calling 1-800-446-2031. VTX1 Companies, connecting you since '52.
Come see what the City of San Benito has to offer today. Business owners, visit the San Benito Chamber of Commerce and find out how they can help you be a part of the new and exciting growth the city is experiencing today. Supporting business, community, and the teams, San Benito Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles, how about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you, Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
Hi, we're Robert Bella's favorite cats, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
A Piece of Cake by Ibadas in Harlingen is a sweet stop for cakes, cookies, and pastries. The best in town for specialty cakes made to order. Sweetbread, cookies, pies, or how about cupcakes? At A Piece of Cake by Ibadas, try a Texas-style cinnamon roll, or how about some tamales? Wedding cakes, graduations, you dream it and they can make it. The best in town is A Piece of Cake by Ibadas in Harlingen.
thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
A Piece of Cake by Ibadas in Harlingen is a sweet stop for cakes, cookies, and pastries. The best in town for specialty cakes made to order. Sweetbread, cookies, pies, or how about cupcakes? At A Piece of Cake by Ibadas, try a Texas-sized cinnamon roll, or how about some tamales? Wedding cakes, graduations, you dream it and they can make it. The best in town is A Piece of Cake by Ibadas in Harlingen.
Come see what the City of San Benito has to offer today. Business owners, visit the San Benito Chamber of Commerce and find out how they can help you be a part of the new and exciting growth the city is experiencing today. Supporting business, community, and the teams, San Benito Chamber of Commerce.
Hola, les habla su amigo Benjamín Gómez, el alcalde de San Benito, invitando a toda la gente que venga a visitarnos aquí a San Benito. Crucen por el puente Los Indios, más bien conocido como el puente de Lucio Blanco. Visítenos a las atracciones que tenemos aquí en San Benito. Aquí los esperamos. Muchas gracias. Su amigo Benjamín Gómez.
Hi, we're PSJ Southwest Javelinas, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live. J's up!
A Piece of Cake by Ibadas in Harlingen is a sweet stop for cakes, cookies, and pastries. The best in town for specialty cakes made to order. Sweetbread, cookies, pies, or how about cupcakes? At A Piece of Cake by
Back live here. We're just, of course, trying to get halftime graphics for you guys. And yeah, I'll be talking about, of course, this game so far and how it's been. It's been very exciting. There we go. Talking about that first drive for Mercedes right off the bat, getting up 7-0, and of course LaFeria were able to adjust some things early and come roaring back and tie up this game. What plays really transpired were just epic, and then, well, Mercedes had some bad luck, and of course LaFeria really were able to take advantage of not only, well, not really missed opportunities, but just really get after it on defense and even get after it on offense. Their offensive line, talking about it from last week to this week, same deal. They were on fire. They just really knew how to come back and, well, fight. Even though, of course, they didn't get scored on last game. LaFeria didn't, but LaFeria really were able to attack Mercedes late in the first quarter, late in the second quarter even too, or early in the second quarter, really making this a balanced game. Same deal with Mercedes. Now, of course, both teams had some mistakes for sure. There was no doubt about that. Where you had some holding calls for Mercedes, you had a defensive pass interference call that some could, of course, argue from both sides. And then you had some holding, well, not just holding calls, but you had a hands to the face call for LaFeria there as well late in the second quarter. Just back and forth play. Then, of course, talking about also turnovers for both sides. You had, well, LaFeria being able to stop Mercedes on fourth down, really being able to get that ball back. And yes, it was in their own territory, but they were able to really drive back down on the field and make it a game and have a chance. And then, of course, late, same deal. Mercedes throws a pick. To be exact, it was Michael Cisneros throws a pick, but they came back on the other side. The Mercedes defense came back on the other side and intercepted the ball on that same drive where they could have gotten scored on and actually had a big gain. So just pretty even, of course, though the ones that have taken advantage of opportunities really more than the others have been LaFeria. That's why the Lions lead 14-10 now. They scored 2 touchdowns and really took away with that. But Mercedes late in the first half had a chance to tie the game and got stopped on 4th down, close to the touchdown there, but they ended up getting a field goal with about 22 seconds remaining in that first half. So that's how we got up to this part. Of course, we're just getting started with this halftime show. We'll be right back. This is Real Sports Live. I'm Jake Young. Hopefully you're enjoying this game as well as this halftime show. We'll be right back after a word from our local sponsors. Don't go anywhere. Second half also will kick off in approximately 15 minutes. But for now, of course, we'll have that halftime show come right back to you. Don't go anywhere.
Wedding cakes, graduations, you dream it and they can make it. The best in town is a piece of cake by Ibarra's in Harlingen.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for low prices? It's a hacienda party.
It's the Hacienda Ford football sale, where you can get a new F-150 starting at just $27,995 or 0% interest for 72 months.
We got the tailgates down and we're feeling all right. My hacienda friends are saving money tonight.
Hacienda has it.
Men, start the new year off right. Alpha Men's Primary Care wants to remind all men it's time for your annual physical. Call to schedule an appointment. It's about the body, mind, and emotion. Stop feeling sluggish, having no energy, or being stressed. Alpha Men's Healthcare believes in a holistic...
Now back live now to continue on with this halftime show so far. Talking... Now I kind of want to talk about, players that have been outstanding so far for this game. Of course, once again, offensive line from both sides have really proven their wrath. And, of course, even the defensive line from both sides, the outside linebackers, just like I said, talking about the players to watch out for from that pregame show that we did. Outside linebacker for LaFeria, which was Ricky Cantu. Cantu's done an outstanding job so far finding the holes and really being able to close them down and not allow for either quarterback, which was Cisneros, to go anywhere, or even that running back. Now, I talked about it before, even during this game so far. We talked about how Mercedes liked to line up. And Mercedes, they really liked to line up where they had one back behind them and 3 wide receivers on either side. Of course, sometimes they mix it up. A lot of times they had it closer to LaFeria's bench. And, of course, when they were switched in that second quarter, they started to play with having the wide receivers near their bench. So just a lot of mix and matching there. But LaFeria, just like that outside linebacker, really able to close that down and make, of course, a couple of losses. So he's doing a nice job so far. Then, of course, you had Dorian Hernandez as QB, that scrambler, really finding that open space. And, well, he's the reason why they're up 14-7 at the moment, of course. And so you're talking about just these players being very effective so far. Now, of course, the weather for LaFeria, I'd like to just talk about that. It's 82 degrees so far. Full moon out tonight. It was a bit low for a second there, and well, when it was low, it was a bright yellow. So that was pretty nice, especially for tonight, which was Friday the 13th. Kind of funny that it is full moon glorious evening. I mean, 82 degrees Fahrenheit, yes, with some humidity, is never bad in the valley considering how hot it gets during the day to now. Of course, cold fronts are coming up. It's closer to fall, which is always fun. Weather hasn't necessarily affected both teams. It's just been back and forth games so far. Momentum switch, I can't say that enough, has been fairly even. Of course, one having the advantage over the other, and that's the Lions so far over the Tigers. So, the Tigers, of course, coming back, they will have to kick off to LaFeria this second half. So that's something that, well, they decided that they wanted to do, of course, to get the ball in the second half is always key. 10 minutes to go in this halftime. We'll be right back. This is Real Sports Live. Hopefully you're enjoying this halftime show. And don't worry, football will return soon for this second half. Once again, brought to you by Hacienda Ford. I'm Jake Young. Hopefully you're enjoying this. Don't go anywhere.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, or gained weight. Let Alpha Men's Primary Care help you increase your energy, stamina, endurance, and quality of life. Start feeling young again. Alpha Men's Primary Care is changing the way men's healthcare is done.
Hi, we're Untitled Chapter, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Hola, les habla su amigo Benjamín Gómez, el alcalde de San Benito, invitando a toda la gente que venga a visitarnos aquí a San Benito. Crucen por el puente Los Indios, más bien conocido como el puente de Lucio Blanco. Visítenos a las atracciones que tenemos aquí en San Benito. Aquí los esperamos. Muchas gracias. Su amigo Benjamín Gómez.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for low prices? It's a Hacienda party.
It's the Hacienda Ford football sale, where you can get a new F-150 starting at just $27,995 or 0% interest for 72 months.
We got the tailgates down and we're feeling all right. My Hacienda friends are saving money tonight.
Hacienda has it.
Hi, we're Russell Veterans, and thanks for watching Real Sports Live.
Every great dining adventure begins with one word, fresh. At the Sea Ranch, we combine a fresh, inviting atmosphere with chef-inspired cuisine prepared from the freshest local shrimp, oysters, snapper, and mahi-mahi. Our salmon, Alaskan king crab, and live Maine lobsters are flown in fresh. A local favorite for over 30 years, the Sea Ranch. Come enjoy a fresh experience.
Music lovers have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles? How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
Come see what the City of San Benito has to offer today. Business owners, visit the San Benito Chamber of Commerce and find out how they can help you be a part of the new and exciting growth the city is experiencing today. Supporting business, community, and the teams, San Benito Chamber of Commerce.
Headed back to school, it's time to get internet from VTX1. VTX1 Companies offers fast and reliable internet throughout the Rio Grande Valley, even to some of the most remote areas. For a limited time only, get your standard installation at no cost to you. Start the school year off with a service provider you can trust by calling 1-800-446-2031. VTX1 Companies, connecting you since '52.
Every great dining adventure begins with one word, fresh. At the Sea Ranch, we combine a fresh, inviting atmosphere with chef-inspired cuisine prepared from the freshest local shrimp, oysters, snapper, and mahi-mahi. Our salmon, Alaskan king crab, and live Maine lobsters are flown in fresh. A local favorite for over 30 years, the Sea Ranch. Come enjoy a fresh experience.
Men, start the new year off right. Alpha Men's Primary Care wants to remind all men it's time for your annual physical. Call to schedule an appointment. It's about the body, mind, and emotion. Stop feeling sluggish, having no energy, or being stressed. Alpha Men's Healthcare believes in a holistic approach to your overall health. Even if you have low testosterone, diabetes, high blood pressure, or gained weight, let Alpha Men's Primary Care help you increase your energy, stamina, endurance, and quality of life. Start feeling young again. Alpha Men's Primary Care is changing the way men's healthcare is done.
Hola, les habla su amigo Benjamín Gómez, el alcalde de San Benito, invitando a toda la gente que venga a visitarnos aquí a San Benito. Crucen por el puente Los Indios, más bien conocido como el puente de Lucio Blanco. Visítenos a las atracciones que tenemos aquí en San Benito. Aquí los esperamos. Muchas gracias, su amigo Benjamín Gómez.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for the prices? It's a Hacienda party.
It's football season at Hacienda Ford, and you can get a 2019 Ford EcoSport with navigation and an 8-inch touchscreen for just $17,495.
We got the tailgates down and we're feeling all right. My Hacienda friends are saving money tonight.
Hacienda has it.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles? How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
Every great dining adventure begins with one word, fresh. At the Sea Ranch, we combine a fresh, inviting atmosphere with chef-inspired cuisine prepared.
Still, of course, pregame, but yes, when we return, we'll bring you to our second half. So hopefully you all are ready for that one. This has been Real Sports Live. I'm Jacob Young. Hopefully you're enjoying this one. Second half, we'll get you the second half kick when we return. Don't go anywhere.
Snapper and mahi-mahi. Our salmon, Alaskan king crab, and live Maine lobsters are flown in fresh. A local favorite for over 30 years, the Sea Ranch. Come enjoy a fresh experience.
Hola, les habla su amigo Benjamín Gómez, el alcalde de San Benito, invitando a toda la gente que venga a visitarnos aquí a San Benito. Crucen por el puente Los Indios, más bien conocido como el puente de Lucio Blanco. Visítenos a las atracciones que tenemos aquí en San Benito. Aquí los esperamos. Muchas gracias, su amigo Benjamín Gómez.
Come see what the City of San Benito has to offer today. Business owners, visit the San Benito Chamber of Commerce and find out how they can help you be a part of the new and exciting growth the city is experiencing today. Supporting business, community, and the teams, San Benito Chamber of Commerce.
Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles, located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, is filled with vintage items, collectibles, and a selection of vinyl records that's as good as it gets. Every shelf, every aisle, and table is filled daily by a number of vendors that ensures that something here just might be the item you have to have. The vinyl record area helps bring an added atmosphere that makes for the fun trip when stepping back in time with the memories.
All right, back live here for the second half, as you can see, or excuse me, as you can see an hour from now, LaFeria, the Lions take the field right now back onto their sidelines. Mercedes, Tigers, moments away from getting into the Tigers' mouth and coming out of that, as of course that's what they brought tonight for their tunnel to come out of. Of course, LaFeria Lions will receive first, and they'll be heading to looking to try to, well, really just continue on their dominance, continue on expanding their lead. Of course, as a football team, as any sports team, you want to continue and to try and gain some more entrance, as now, of course, the Mercedes Tigers come back out onto the field, onto their sidelines. It is a packed house on both sides. Both teams really bringing the fan base. Of course, they don't live too far away from one another. Of course, LaFeria, this being their home field so far. So, very exciting. Real quick, it's pretty funny. Of course, I watch college football and all this, and I've been pretty good with knowing the fight songs for college football teams, so it's pretty funny. Hold the Tiger is playing right now from Mercedes Tigers band, which is always reminds me of beautiful college football and even high school football. It's amazing. Either way, both teams ready. LaFeria ready to receive the ball as they've gotten everyone spread back out onto the field now. But Mercedes Tigers still huddled up. They finally get that whistle to start that play clock, and they go down in formation, ready to send this ball off. And it is kicked away, a short one this time. It might land. It's going to land on the 1 yard line, and he's got to receive it. This time he gets out from, well, he got out of the end zone there, but if he had gotten tackled, I think it might have been because where the ball was placed, which was that 1 yard line, he would have gotten a safety, but able to avoid that. But nice job from Mercedes there for a second. And now, of course, the Lions will have to go all the way through the field, as they will be starting this drive kind of in the end zone, sort of, and from the left hash mark. Hiking the ball off with one man beside him. Able to avoid the end zone, finds an opening, gets a couple of yards. They will be marked down close to about the 6 yard line or so. That will be second down now, getting some yards. Be about a 4 yard carry there. Hiking the ball off with one back beside him, and he decides to take it himself, and he's going to try to get the line. The flag is thrown late, kind of, so it could be hands to the face. Fethiye was guessing. Holding on is the call. Did not necessarily see that there, but either way, holding is the call. So half the distance to the goal. It's not going to. It's just going to be tougher and more impressive if the Lions, of course, can get out of this one. which is always possible there. Dorian Hernandez hikes the ball off with one back beside him. And he gets a big hole up the middle right before he's tackled. Third down now. And they're going to mark that ball close to the 10-yard line. So, of course, LaFeria just making sure that they know the play. He will hike the ball off with one back beside him. And Mercedes were ready for that one. They get him back. They get the tackle for the loss there. And Mercedes will force a fourth down for the Lions. And we'll see what the Lions try to do here if they try to get it deep. I know that Mercedes will be trying to block this kick for sure due to the fact of how close it is to the end zone. And a blocked kick will do wonders. He actually decides to take it. It's a missed one. And how about that? He's going to be brought down behind the line. And Mercedes will get the ball at the 5-yard line. A mishandle on the snap is what it seemed like. Kind of a fake there, but nothing to it. And Mercedes will start their first drive of the second half with 10:17 to go in this third quarter. Ball on about the 5-yard line. Cisneros hikes the ball off. He gets stopped for a loss. So he gets sacked behind the line of scrimmage, and that will move them back a couple of yards. It will now be second down. Second down and about 13 or so. Second down and long. Play clock continues to run. 15-14 now. Cisneros will hike the ball off with one back beside him. He hands it off, has the opening. 5, tries to hurdle someone and be brought down right at the original line of scrimmage there. Trying to fight his way in. But, of course, that goal line defense, that secondary right there was good. But a hold on the offense will bring them back another 5 yards. So all that gain, they will have to get it right back for Mercedes. The Tigers now finding themselves moving backwards more than forwards. Not exactly what they would have anticipated on this drive. Of course, Mercedes looking at the coach, making sure what their play is going to be as the clock continues to run. The play clock, continues to run. 10 seconds now on there. 9:14 left to go in the third quarter. Sends a man in motion all by himself in the backfield, finds an opening. Looks like, though, a flag was thrown, and it could be another hold. Refs discuss it there. Illegal formation is what it looked like on the offense. Still second down, though. But that will bring the Tigers back even more. And what looked like it could have been an easy touchdown, and now will look like a mile to go for this Tiger offense. Cisneros back alone and shotgun there. Tries to throw it. And what a play there. An 8-yard catch. The Tigers will be going forward now. Lions 15-yard line now as Cisneros sends a man in motion back on shotgun now all by himself. He trying to evade one. What a block. Trying to find an opening. He's going to say an incompletion. Incomplete pass. What a defensive play there. Because you talk about it, they just blocking him, giving him no room in the left corner, the farthest left corner of the touchdown there. And it looks like they will set up for a field goal to try to be down by 1 point here. Of course, Fethiye will get the ball back after this, whether it goes in or not. A 30-yard attempt. Try to block it. Doesn't get there in time, and the kick is up and good. 14-13 now your score. A very big play, a very big stop for the Lions after not being able to convert on 4th down. Needed a stop and got one. That's exactly what you want from your defense. And talk about they are ready to really play ball when they have to. Of course, there becomes a thing of fatigue, but it doesn't look like this team is fatigued at all. Both sides are fatigued, really, because both sides are looking to just pounce on one another. Both teams ready now to to kick this ball away. Of course, Mercedes, the Tigers, kicking this ball back to LaFeria. Whistle blows. Mercedes gets in formation. Raises up his hand, and the kick is away. It's back to the right corner once again, this time returnable for LaFeria. LaFeria trying to go the opposite way. He finds a bit of a hole, not before he's taken down right at about the 26 or so yard line. 1st and 10. We got 8:13 remaining here in this third quarter. 14-13 now your score. Mercedes down by 1. Of course, having to defend now. LaFeria lead with their offense that can easily become lethal if you let it. Dorian Hernandez with one back beside him, hands the ball off and gets to about the 30-yard line, so we'll pick up a good gain, close to about 5 yards. Dorian Hernandez hikes the ball off, hands it once again, actually keeps it himself, and evades a couple of guys. Once again, like I said, could become lethal and is really able to scramble. He gets that first down all by himself, really being able to find that open space. And he gets it. That open space, of course, opened up from none other than the offensive line. Another handoff quickly, and believe almost got back to the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a couple of yards there. Believe a flag might have been thrown. Five-yard penalty against the Lions will move them back after a fantastic play not too long ago. Lions now will have the ball just at about the 36-yard line. Hernandez hikes the ball off with one back behind him. He decides to take it himself, and it looks like Mercedes might actually have it. It might have popped out of his hand. They did not blow it dead in time. And it will stay with LaFeria. Mercedes jumped up and down. Looked like they might have had it for a second there, but really great hands make the Lions still have that ball. Second down now from their own 39-yard line. Hernandez hikes the ball off once again, keeps it this time. A deep pass, able to catch. He's dropped incomplete, actually. A very nice defensive play. Just very technical. What happened, though? He was wide open, turns around, tries to grab that ball, but just in time, the defender from Mercedes was able to swat that ball away just in time after that tackle. He did not necessarily survive the ground, as they would say in the NFL. Either way, hikes the ball off this time, drops back to pass, has time, tries to evade. He actually evades. Center there, finds a wide open man, just like that. A big gain, gets him first down, and a bit more too, right at the 30, 29-yard line almost. They're gonna mark the ball just about at the 28-yard line. And just like that, they're in the Tiger territory. And drops back, finding the opening, got a man, trying to bulldoze his way through. Talk about a man of the match on performance on the offensive end so far. Caleb Flores doing a fantastic job just of muscling his way through. Hikes the ball off once again. Quickly thrown, and the pass is thrown incomplete there. Second and 10, 6:05 left to go in the third quarter. 14-13 still your score, with LaFeria driving. They're on the Tiger 15. Hiking the ball off, trying to find the opening. Garcia gets a couple of yards there. 3 yards, they're saying. Third down. Still a little ways to go if they want to get to the red zone. Hikes the ball off with one beside him, tries a screen pass to the left side. Not going to be enough for the first down though, but he gets a couple of yards. Luckily does not slide and injure himself, because right after that turf, you're on to a different surface, and those cleats don't necessarily love that so much. Of course, because there is a track around this field. Not at the moment, of course, but they still laid down that stuff. Either way, hikes the ball off with one behind him. Actually waiting around, he decides, making sure with 10 seconds left, they are confused, so they're going to use a timeout. LaFeria used their first timeout of the second half. 5:36 remain here in this third quarter. 14-13, LaFeria with them driving on fourth down here. They're going to talk it over and see if they decide to actually try and go for it, or just decide to kick a field goal here. Both teams have been very even. Talking about a chance for Mercedes in this second half early, after of course stopping LaFeria deep in, well, LaFeria's end, but LaFeria able to come back and stop, and only letting Mercedes get a field goal after what seemed like an easy field goal kick leading up to now, of course. And they're deciding to go for it. LaFeria he's got two backs beside him. He hands it off, and he's got enough in the end zone. Touchdown, LaFeria. The Lions score, and we'll take the lead. Well, we'll continue, and they will lead 20-13, excuse me. A very impressive play there. Dorian Hernandez able to score there. Of course, they're trying to get that extra point. He drops back. Hike the snap. It's nice. Up and good. 21-13 your score. LaFeria just continue to lead now. They lead by 8. 21-13. Both teams back on the sidelines as they get set to kick this ball back off. Mercedes will be trying to go back and score from their own end. But when we return, we will see Mercedes and their drive and see what they will have in store. We'll be right back after this. This is Real Sports Live. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Back live here as LaFeria are set to kick this one off. We got the refs ways in. They try a bit of a squib kick. It's returnable. It's muffed, but he still is able to return it and gets a couple of yards after that. From what looked like it could have gone a bit deeper, does not after a bit of a muffed punt or a bit of a muffed kick there, but Mercedes still hold possession here, and they will start their drive from about the 30, their own 33 or so yard line. Yes, exactly, their 33 yard line. Cisneros now. Cisneros on that handoff. A screen pass, finding the open players, and they get a couple of yards there. The Tigers now have possession. They now have the ball on the 35-yard line. 2nd and 8, gain of 2 on that carry. He does another screen pass, a bit too fast. They're going to drop that. And a late hit for sure is what it looks like. I don't believe they're going to call it. They're just going to call it after the whistle. Momentum, where it was a block and just continued on. 3rd down and 8 for Mercedes. LaFeria trying to stop them on a 3-and-out here. Cisneros has it back right beside him. Decides to drop back and pass a screen pass wide open on the right side. Has a big gain, 40 to 30. Will be stopped right at about the 30-yard line. A huge gain for Mercedes. Puts them right back in Lions territory, just like that. 4:46 left in the 3rd quarter, 21-13, and it is just like that. It is. And what a play there. Sorry about that, was just shocked about it. And Lions, well, Mercedes came out with a hurry-up offense, and well, it did not go too well for them as they lost a lot of yards on that play. It moves them all the way back to the Lions' 45-yard line after they just had the ball spotted on the 30. Lone man on the back trying to find it just a bit too low for the wide receiver, and that is going to go to a 3rd down, so an incompletion. A loss of yards and an incompletion for Mercedes after a huge gain for them. Michael Cisneros trying to figure out this play. Play clock keeps on continuing. 17-16 now it goes. 4:04 left. 3rd down. He's in shotgun formation, sends a man in motion to the left side. 3 wide receivers. Does a fast one up the middle. Gets possession. Almost breaks free, and now the ball will be 25-yard line on the Lions 25 there. Mercedes with a huge gain, exactly what they needed. Now, of course, it is 4th down, and I think it is a situation where it's too short to punt, too far to kick a field goal. So hikes the ball off with one back beside him, has to throw it, throws it to the corner. It's going to be enough. 20-yard line. I think it's going to be They're going to move the chains. That's what it seems like. And they do move the chains. Both are a bit shocked, and it is going to be Mercedes Tigers' first down. Ball spotted on that 21-yard line. The Lions, of course, had them stopped for a second, but able to evade it. Hikes the ball off, hands it up the middle, going to gain a couple of yards, but stops shy. A 2-yard carry for the Tigers there. We'll see them just gaining yards. Mercedes looking to see what play. Of course, having a substitution. Looks 15-14 on the play clock. 13, 12, 11, 10. Counting down. Cisneros. 3 wide receivers, on his right side. He did pass to one and gains a couple of yards before getting taken down. Now another third down conversion is up on the table, for Mercedes. Tigers making sure that they know what the play is, looking at the bench here. Lions 16-yard lines where the ball is spotted. The Lions are trying to hold them once again for another third down stand close to, the Lions' red zone territory. Cisneros has one back behind him, 2 wide receivers on each side, sends a man in motion. 3 on his left, hikes it off all alone, trying to find an opening, finds a wide open player. What a hit! They're gonna say he caught that ball. What a play by him, just a way to keep it. Very impressive skills. Both have come out hitting, both on offense and defense, for just LaFeria and Mercedes. Hikes the ball off, tries to hand it off. Looks like it might be coming back, though. Looks like it could be a false start. Number 2, false start on the offense. So we'll bring them back a couple more yards here. Mercedes looking at the sidelines to see what play they're going to run. Looks like 2 wide receivers on the left on each side. He's lone, sends a man in motion to the left. Cisneros in shotgun formation, hikes it off, finds a man wide open to the corner, the left corner, tries to evade one, does not evade the other. Was basically stopped right as he got possession of the ball. That's going to be at the 10-yard line now. Second and 8 now for Mercedes Tigers. Cisneros, the Tigers figure out the play. Cisneros now 1 back right beside him, 3 wide receivers on the right. He takes it himself and gains a couple of yards there right off that play. And now it's going to be another third down on this drive for Mercedes. 3rd and 7 for the Tigers. They're going to make sure that they know that play. And the Tigers are going to burn another timeout with, actually, that's going to be the last play of the third quarter. And, well, now we're on to the last quarter of the game. LaFeria lead by 8. And when we return, of course, we'll have the last quarter of play, last quarter of action Don't worry, this is Real Sports Live. Jacob Young, hopefully you're enjoying this one. We'll be right back. This is powered by Hacienda Ford. Don't go anywhere.
Thanks for watching Real Sports Live.
Real Sports Live, #1.
Men, start the new year off right. Alpha Men's Primary Care wants to remind all men it's time for your annual physical. Call the schedule.
Live fourth quarter action now. Of course, Mercedes Tigers facing the other side with 10 on the play clock. So far, 12 minutes, of course, to go. Lone man is right here. He tries to take it. It could be, of course, I believe actually a hold in the backfield. It looks like it could have been. Frank Morales with the penalty flag for Mercedes. Will send them back a couple of yards now. He's just held on to him a bit too long, of course. And so now, of course, Mercedes puts themselves in an interesting situation now. What will they be able to do? They're making sure that they know the play here. Got one man, play resumes. See, Sneddles comes back, looks like he's gonna be the lone player in shotgun formation with two wide receivers on each side. He sends a man in motion to the right, hikes the ball off. Lone finding a man wide open in the middle, drops the pass. Had it, but a bit too far, or a bit too high, excuse me, on that play. And fourth down now for Mercedes, and the kicking team will come out onto the field, the special teams. Fourth down, and this one looks like it's going to be a good kick, close to 30 yards. A 36-yard field goal attempt for the Tigers, trying, of course, they're trying to get the block. It's up. The kick is up. And it's good. How about that play right there? Mercedes, another tag on, another field goal. And 21-16 now is your score. 11:28 to play in the fourth quarter, second half. Let's tell you something here. The Lions have 2 timeouts, and, well, Mercedes Tigers have 3 timeouts, so they got 3 timeouts to play with for the rest of this game for sure. We'll see what happens, of course. Now, Mercedes and LaFeria back out onto the field, as LaFeria and the Lions will get the ball back and see if they can try and get one touchdown maybe in to try and extend their lead. They've been doing a very good job of that so far, especially in the second half. Just Mercedes, of course, has had some bad luck with a couple of fouls, but they've really been able to put together some nice runs, including on third down. Either way, kick is up right into the middle. It is returnable at the 10-yard line. They bring it out, and a big hit, but gains a bit of a couple of yards there. The 28-yard line is where they will mark this. It's actually waiting for the official spot there. Yes, the 28-yard line is where the ball will be spotted on. 11:23 remain. 21-16 your score once again. Being very exciting. Hucks the ball off. Handoff actually to the left side. He's got an opening. Gets the ball down to about the 50, actually still going to, his momentum was stopped, so we'll be down at about the 40-yard lines. The Mercedes Tigers 40-yard line. A big gain on that play. But not to be held by a hold. And a holding call will move them all the way back from, of course, the spot of the foul to 10 yards. And that was a hold on none other than Fabian Julian. So a big, almost a big momentum change there, but either way, they move on to hike the ball. He muffs the hike, but is able to evade the defender. Tries to find an opening, does. He gets loose once again. 45-yard line is where he'll be brought down. A big gain after a huge loss, and that will get them the first down and a bit more for LaFeria. The Lions now, of course, up there. Injury timeout. We'll be right back after this.
Feeling sluggish, having no energy, or being stressed? Alpha Men's Healthcare believes in a holistic approach to your overall health. Even if you have low testosterone, diabetes, high blood pressure, or gained weight, let Alpha Men's Primary Care help you increase your energy, stamina, endurance, and quality of life. Start feeling young again. Alpha Men's Primary Care is changing the way men's healthcare is done.
Hi, we're Lady Vikings, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for the process? It's a hacienda.
Back live, there was an injury there. Hopefully, we hope he is going to be okay and it is not too serious. Either way, play resumes. LaFeria have the ball as he has one back right behind him. Hikes the ball off there. Handoff up the middle. A big gain and more trying to defend. He's going to get taken out at the 50, but it looks like it probably will also be tagged on as he was dragged down out of bounds there. Could be a late hit out of bounds. Of course, those calls, especially when it comes down to, well, you're being dragged at that time, kind of momentum is forward close to the out of bounds. This becomes actually, looks like it's going to be another hold. Missed that hold there for a second, but I was wrong. It is going to be against LaFeria there. Moved back like it was. We'll get the official announcement, of course. Looks like face mask on 25 of the offense, so basically hands to the face, and they will be placed behind the line of scrimmage. Now looks like the 38-yard line, first down, but a big time, well, not necessarily run, but just they will have to do better there. He sends a man in motion, one back, and he decides to take it himself. A big gain, 40, 30, 20, 10, before he gets knocked down at about the 9 or 8 yard line. LaFeria, a big gain once again. No flags on the play this time. That run will count. And they set up in formation once again. One back right beside him. Handoff again, trying to escape. The spin move, big time, and he's in! Touchdown, LaFeria! The Lions now, once again, 27-16 your score. 10:24 left in the fourth quarter. 27-16. And they score a fantastic play there. Just talking about a textbook move from your running back, really being able to hike that ball off. Avishai Dickerson, I believe, is the player who was able to really make the move happen. He spun around and touchdown it goes. 27-16 now your score. $10:24 to go. Once again, 28-16. They do make the extra point. The extra point was up and good. Both teams on their respective sideline getting ready. Of course, LaFeria getting ready to kick the ball back to Mercedes. So Mercedes doing a pretty good job. Well, Mercedes will try and will get closer to scoring this time. 28-16. Fethiye is set to kick this ball off. And they do a squib kick kind of as they kneel the ball there. A bit of a push afterwards, but nothing more to it. They look like they will, Mercedes look like they will probably get the ball at the 28 or so yard line. Mercedes talking it over on the sidelines for a second there. They got about 15 on the play clock there to basically get in formation and hike the ball off. 8, 7, 6, 5. Cisneros with one back beside him and two wide receivers on the left. He fakes a handoff, does a screen pass to the left, and he tries to evade. A couple of players, gets hit, but not before he gets a couple of yards there. Mercedes get a couple of yards now, of course, after they talked it over with their from the bench. Cisneros hikes the ball off with one back beside him there, takes it himself back to the corner, though, trying to run but gets out of bounds. Not before he gets a couple of yards once again. It looks like third down, though, won't be too big of a challenge as it may be close to third down and 3. Third down and 3 it is for the Tigers. Cisneros will hike the ball off with one back right beside him. 3 wide receivers on the right side. Finds a man up the middle. He breaks free. 40, 30, 20. The 20, the 10, 5. Touchdown, Mercedes. Tigers looking around. No flags. And Mercedes full score. And now this game has just got interesting once again. 28-22, 9:35 left in the fourth quarter. Not because it wasn't interesting before. This has just been back and forth. But you're talking about it, and, well, it's back to a one-possession game just like that. Looks like they're going to go for 2. And it's going to be a triple option, wide open, and he's in! Touchdown! How about that? A triple option, 2-point conversion, 28-24. Haven't seen that in a while, as we kind of just expected that. Just textbook style play right there, thinking that they were going to go on to the left side, But nope, one man coming around to the right side for a touchdown there. 28-24, just like that, puts him down by 4, exactly what they needed to do, kind of. And just like that, this game got a lot more interesting. Comebacks happening. Of course, comeback happened last week where they ended up, Mercedes Tigers ended up losing to Nicky Rowe. So trying to, of course, avenge that loss and maybe make a comeback of their own, as they are. And so far, back and forth, absolutely phenomenal play on both sides. The refs blow the whistle, and Mercedes Tigers get set to get this ball back off to LaFeria. And the Lions kick is up. It's nice, it's returnable about the 25-yard line, trying to stay behind someone. Gets on the left side, has a chance to beat one man, stiff arms one, and gets a couple of yards there. Very nice play. Really being able to work that stiff arm. You talked about kind of playing that style of a game, and, well, it's kind of working for them back and forth there as the Lions are talking it over, breaking out of that huddle now. 9:26 to go in the fourth quarter. 28-24. Lions lead with the ball now. He's going to hike the ball off with one back beside him, takes the ball himself. Once again, breaks another tackle up the middle before getting taken down right there at a very big gain, getting into Tiger territory there. A very impressive play. That's what they've really been able to do all game long. They've figured it out. It hikes the ball off fast again, but he only gains a couple of yards as he does slip after that handoff. Both teams have tried to go fast. A couple of times, and it has somewhat worked, but also apparently the defenses, in my opinion, have just been ready for those fast-paced plays. So that's something that has kind of changed up as we see him hiking the ball off with one back beside him. Once again, decides to take it himself again up the middle, not before getting a couple of yards, but, well, he gets taken down. So now, of course, we're looking at a third down situation for the Lions, just past midfield now in Tiger territory. Hikes the ball off with one man, one back beside him, and false start will be the call, and the Lions just made this drive a bit tougher, just made this third down a bit tougher for sure. Both teams doing a fantastic job so far of really limiting errors kind of like that, but we've seen it from both sides, really. After a flag like that, we normally see a boost. He is side by side into the talking to the bench, 5 on the play clock, 4. Still able to hike the ball up, lone back, trying to find someone open. He's still evading. Caught! How about that? Able to pull it down just like that. What a play to down. There was really the offensive line doing a great job and just having a bunch of openings, giving him plenty of time to block, but he was able to just come down with it. Meanwhile, hiking the ball off once again with one back behind him, hands the ball off, actually takes it himself, almost loses a couple of yards before, and finally gets taken down. 15-yard liner. As now about to score again. 10 on back behind him, up the middle, handoff, and gains a couple of yards there. It's going to be enough past that secondary. Not enough for a first down just yet. And once again, he's got one back behind him, 2 wide receivers on his left side with 1 wide receiver on his right. Hands the ball off once again, and he gets met in the backfield for about a loss a third down now. 3rd and 7 now for the Lions. Very exciting. Lions are just making sure that they know what to do here. 20 seconds left on the play clock, so 40 left to play in this second half. 5, 4, 3. Looks like they're probably going to call a timeout. They're going to want to talk it over. 5:29 remain in the game so far. Going to talk it over. We're going to give ourselves for a second. And well, actually, I take that back. We will not head to commercial. Confetti here. Popping confetti, I should say. A 28-24 your score. LaFeria still lead. Territory 28-24. 5:29 left to play in the game. Okay. Hikes the ball. It's going to hike the ball off with 2 backs right and 1 wide receiver on the left after. And there we go. He might have gained a couple of yards, which is very important, but the kicking team will come out. Remember, their quarterback is their kicker, so for them to do that, maybe standing and the ball off, and he is met. Thinks it's a fumble, but not in Tiger territory. We do have 1 timeout remaining. That's the only bad situation with 4:46 left. It all depends on how this drive really goes. Quick little pass to the left, but he got the pass. Fantastic play. Just being met up in the. It's exactly. What happened. Either way, all alone as shotgun doesn't. Incomplete is what they're going to say. So an incomplete. 3rd down, they still have possession of the ball, though. Here's going to the left side on 2 different occasions. 1 successful, 1 well dropped after the hit. It is a 3rd down. Still in Tiger territory, though, with 15, 14, 13 on the play clock. See, he is being blitzed, though. Tries to throw it, and it is caught. I think going to be just shy of the 1st down. I take that back. It is a 1st down, and Mercer the chains on another 3rd down. Long 3rd down. Michael Cisneros hikes off once again, does a quick screen. Hit pretty big and could not necessarily go anywhere. The clock is still running. 3:30 left to play here in this 4th quarter. The difference is the Tigers have 3 timeouts remaining, and they finally call a timeout. 14 seconds were left on the play clock, but 3:25 to go here as they need to talk things out from both sides. LaFeria really being able to zone in right now, and they've been up and been really able to lead since, well, they took the lead 14-7. Of course, they did lose the lead once, but that was okay. Resumes.